Hey everybody. So I'm actually super excited to film this video because it's kind of like a celebratory moment for me because I actually finished officially applying to nursing programs. I got into a program that's very best fit for me, and it's been a long process, honestly. Like, I started applying to programs since December, and I just finished applying, I would say, like this month. So like December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. 7 months of just applying, researching, getting denied, getting rejected, catching L's, getting accepted to some. You know what I'm saying? It's been a long process, but I'm just happy that I'm officially done. And what better way to finish this process than to make a video to give you guys tips and tricks that I thought, you know, really worked for me, and just tips that I had to learn the hard way because I had no one to tell me, bitch, that's not what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to do. Do this, don't do this. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if I had someone that told me all of those things, the process would have been, you know, less costly and less time consuming. So I'm about to be you guys's savior today and give you guys all the tips and tricks on how to apply to an accelerated BSN program, as well as how to save money and get in one. Because believe me, if this is your dream, you will find a program that suits you. You just have to be smart. You got to work smarter and not harder. So without further ado, let's get with it. All right, so we're about to just get started. If you guys ever like just see me like constantly looking down, it's because I literally made like a long transcript of like the tips and tricks, because I really wanted to give you guys the true tea and nothing less of that. But it's like, I don't want the video to be too long, but I want to give you guys every single tip that I have. Like, I literally just want to like expunge every knowledge that I have and just give it to y'all. So first and foremost, start early. And when I say start early, I'm not saying like start applying early. I mean, yeah, do that, but it's just like, if you're still an undergrad right now and you know that you want to get your second degree in nursing, try to take as many prerequisites right now that you can as possible. Luckily for me, I was a public health major. So with being a public health major, a lot of the prerequisites I had to take for my second degree prerequisites to get into a nursing program, I took, I would say like a good 60 to 70% of them being a public health major. And then the rest I took just like, you know, on the side, or I took at a community college after I graduated. However, taking it at a community college, you have to pay out of pocket. Obviously, it's not like, you know, when you take it undergrad and you're a full-time student, you can just take as many classes as you want. You would have to pay out of pocket. And not only would you have to pay out of pocket taking it after you graduate, but it also wastes time. Like, I had to take 2 courses right after I graduated, the semester after I graduated. So that basically took up that semester. Start doing and taking all your prerequisites as early as possible. When it comes to your science prerequisites, guys, I would recommend taking that at a community college, because, you know what I'm saying, if you feel like you can't juggle 2 science classes at once, or you can't juggle a science class on top of your, you know, regular schedule, I would not jeopardize it, because you really want to, don't take these, even though they say a C or above, I would really try to get a B and up in every science prerequisite possible, or just every prerequisite possible, but especially those science prerequisites, because those science prerequisites are non-negotiables. No matter what program you get into, no matter what program, they want that anatomy and physiology 1 and 2. They want that microbiology, and they probably do want that chemistry as well. So the best thing for anyone to do, I would say, is to try to score as high as you can on those science courses. And the best way to do that, I would say, is to take it at a community college versus at your university. Just because when you take it at a community college, your workload might be less. Let's say you take it in the summertime, that's the only class you're taking, your workload is going to be less. That's just what it is. Versus if you take it during the semester, in the fall or the spring, you're taking that on top of probably working, and then your social life, and then juggling the other 16 or 14 credits that you also have. So if you could fit it in and you know yourself, do so. If not, like I said, there's other alternatives. You can take it in the summertime, but just know that if you take it in the summertime or you take it at a community college, you will be paying out of pocket per credit. And that does add up. Start making a list of potential schools. Honestly, during undergrad, if you know this is what you want to do, start making a list of all of the potential schools that you would like to attend. And when making this list, just try to you know, put their requirements, put the grade requirements, put the prerequisites that they want. You know, just make a list of all these schools, because I feel like the issue that I had is I didn't wait until after I graduated to start looking up schools that I potentially wanted to go to. Like, I waited until I already had my degree, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start applying to nursing programs. That's when I started like researching schools. That's dumbly, like, don't do what I did. If I were you, I would start looking up schools now, just because if it's a school you really want to go to, start taking the prerequisites as soon as possible. Start taking those prerequisites as soon as possible if you know it's a school that you really want to go to. But just in general, try to, you know, curate a long list of schools that you potentially would want to apply to, because listen, once you have that list and then it's time to apply and you have all your prerequisites down, it's just bang 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 bang. All you need to do is have the money, which leads me to my next point. Save up. Save up. I wish I actually said this first, because this is like super important. These nursing applications are mad expensive. Like, applying to schools, I did not know how expensive it was going to be until I started like actually applying. And personally, I would say to save about, to save like around $400 to $500, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not even like BSing or trying to be like dramatic. $400 to $500 at least. Like, at least, because it does add up. You don't know how many schools you're going to apply to. I personally would recommend that you apply to as many schools as possible. Like, don't limit yourself. That's exactly what I did, y'all. In the beginning of this process, I was really like, you know, really not boastful, but I'm just like, yo, like, I was feeling myself. I was like, I know my undergraduate GPA is bomb. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have all these requirements down. Let me just apply to these 4 schools. I'm sure I'll get into all 4 of them. Meanwhile, I got into like 1.5 of them. It's a long story, but let's just say I got into 1 out of the 4 schools. So that definitely humbled me, and that also kind of set me back. Try to apply to as many schools as you know, as you can. I would say at least like 6 to 10 schools. Like, at least 6 to 10 schools. You want options at the end of the day. Like, I'm the type of person where it's just like, I don't want to be in a position where it's like I'm forced to go to this school because that's the only school I got into. By all means, if that's your, if you feel confident in yourself, you want to apply to one school and you just so happen to get into that one school, by all means, I'm sorry, y'all. I personally spent $730 on my nursing applications total, plus all of that includes the nursing apps, the transcripts, and the entrance exams that I took. I took both the Hesi and the T's. So definitely save up, because this process is not cheap. It's worth it, but it's not cheap. But there's definitely ways in which you can finesse, and I'm gonna get to that a little later. You don't waste to finesse the cost. There's definitely ways you can finesse the cost, and I'm gonna let you guys know right now. Whatever school you apply to, always ask if there's a fee waiver. Always ask, because I would say 8 out of 10 times there's always a way in which you could get a fee waiver from a school. Always ask admissions, because listen, $50 that you could be saving by not paying the application fee, like, you can do a lot of with $50. So always don't ever hesitate to ask if there's a fee waiver, because like I said, 8 times out of 10 there probably is. You just have to ask, and they won't tell you unless you ask. So speak up, y'all. You gotta speak up. In general, listen, these nursing programs, they look at those prerequisite grades as well as your overall GPA. Numero uno. Like, they don't really care. Let's just say you were like a communications major or a business major or a political science major, but you had a 4.0 GPA, right? You had a 4.0 GPA, and then you took your all your nursing prerequisites, right, at a community college, right? And you got A's in every single one of them, but you took it at a community college, right? These schools don't give a damn where you took these classes at. All they care about is what you got in those classes. They don't care, you know, they don't really care what major you were, or if you took it at Harvard or if you took it at Essex Community College. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? They care about that grade, okay? You know, try to work on your GPA as much as possible. If you're still undergrad at this point, definitely work on your GPA, boost it as much as you can. That's why I'm telling y'all, like, I don't really recommend taking science classes during undergrad if you're not able to balance it. Like, if you're not able to balance it and get a good grade, because that 4 credits is heavy. Getting a C in a 4 credit class, listen, C's get degrees, C's, you know, is enough to get you to the next level. But these nursing programs really do not want to see C's. Like, they do not want a C. They say at the end of the day, they be like, oh, like a C is enough, you know, that's our minimum requirements. But listen, side to side, this person got a C, this person got an A. Like, proof is in the pudding of who they're going to choose. Clearly it's going to be the person that got that A, regardless of if that person, you know, didn't even study a health related major in undergrad. Like, if they don't care. So that's why I'm letting you guys know that I would personally take all of your science prerequisites in a community college, because it's going to probably be easier, it's going to be less hectic, and yes, you'll be having to pay out of pocket, which is going to be freaking annoying. But if you really want that good grade and you got money to spend, baby, by all means do it. If not, you might just have to have, you know, sacrifice a few sleepless nights, you know, and take that class during your undergrad semester. But it's up to you. It's up to you. Another way to finesse money is to take Clep Courses. Oh my god. So Clep Courses, in case you guys are not familiar with them, they're basically courses you can take online that translate to college credits. So there's a Clep course. You can, I think it's clep.com. I'm not too sure what the website is, but they're called Clep Courses. And there's also something similar that I actually personally took that's called Straighterline. So essentially what Straighterline is, you take 4 exams, and once you take those 4 exams, you get a grade, and that grade translates to a college credit course. Like, I took what did I take? I took Intro to Psychology, and I took Sociology through Straighterline, and I got college credits for those courses. And guess how much I paid for 2 courses? Guess. I'm just waiting. Throw out the numbers. Throw out the numbers. Throw out the numbers. 400? Nah. 500? Nah. 300? Nah. 200? Nah. 250? Nah. I paid $150, right, to take 2 courses. And what I paid, what, $150? Like, y'all, Clep Courses are amazing. But make sure, don't take no Clep course unless you know that school accepts it, because not every school accepts it. That's the thing. You need to make sure your school accepts it. Luckily, the school that I was applying to accepted it. There's Clep Courses, and then there's Straighterline. They're the same thing, but it's just 2 different companies. I took Straighterline. I took 4 exams, and I got my grade for it for both of those classes, and I paid $150. I think Clep Courses are around the same price, but Clep Courses are a little bit more common. More schools accept Clep versus Straighterline. So pick your poison. But yo, Clep Courses, y'all. Clep freaking Courses. Another thing about this nursing program is you need to stay humble. Like, listen, you're going to get rejections left and right. You're gonna get acceptances, you're gonna get rejections, you're gonna like see some programs that are asking for some crazy requirements and you know your ass don't got it. But don't lose hope, you know what I'm saying? Stay humble, but know that like if this is for you, you're gonna find a school that best fits you. Like, don't lose sight on the end goal. Don't lose sight on if this is your passion. Don't lose sight on that, you know what I'm saying? So as much as I got rejected from several schools, I still managed to get accepted to 4 schools. 5 schools actually. Always stay humble, because even if you have the requirement that the school is asking for, okay, even if you had that requirement, they might not even accept you, because I definitely applied to schools that I surpassed the requirement. You know, I came into applying to these schools thinking I was like, you know, the boss Dawn, Teflon Dawn, like they couldn't touch me. Like, meanwhile, like I said, I caught several L's during this process, and that's okay, because guess what? Today I'm good. I got into the school I wanted to, and you will too. Also, when applying to schools, just to like save your time and your energy and your money, most importantly, call that school and ask as many questions as necessary. Like before I applied to any school, I made sure to call like the nursing admissions department, and I like literally overkilled them with so many questions. Ask them, first and foremost, I always used to ask like, how many seats do you guys have? You know what I'm saying? Because some of these programs, they vary. There's certain programs that have over 100 seats, and then there's certain programs I've heard of that had like between like 8 to 10 seats. And so I probably would not apply to a program that had 8 to 10 seats. That's just me. The school had told me that they wanted me to take genetics because they thought that that would boost my chances of getting in. And listen, y'all, when a school tells you that, take it with a grain of salt, because that might boost your chances of getting in, but you don't want to take that class just to not get in. So if a school tells you that, I would honestly be like, am I going to be using this genetics course to apply to other schools? If that's the case, then I guess you can probably consider taking it. It's up to you, honestly. If you really feel like you have a chance of taking that course, a chance of getting into that program, if you take that course, then do it. If not, like I said, I probably won't recommend it. And that goes with the same thing. There is nursing entrance exams that they, certain schools want. I know a lot of schools in the South want the T's, and then there's a few schools that want the Hesi exam. I was fortunate enough to take both exams. So if you have any questions on how to excel in any of these nursing entrance exams, let me know, because I have nothing but knowledge. Personally, when it comes to the Hesi and the T's, my number one advice for that would just to be, I personally wouldn't take them if you were just applying to one school to use that exam for. Let me just clear myself up. When it comes to the entrance exams, if you're going to use that score to apply to several schools, for instance, there's a lot of schools in the South that want the T's exam. If you're applying to schools predominantly in the South, I would recommend taking that T's exam, because the T's exam is $70, number one. Number two, you have to study for it. You have to buy the books to help you study. It's a lot of work. So it's just like, do you really want to do all that work just to apply to one school that just might not accept you? Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? I took the Hesi exam, and I used the Hesi exam is $120, okay? This was in the beginning when I didn't know no better. So I took the Hesi exam, and there was one particular school that I really wanted to get into, and they wanted the Hesi exam. But that was the only school like in my list of schools that wanted the Hesis. But I was feeling a little confident. I was just like, this school is mad dope. Like, if I got into the school, it'd be everything to me. So I paid that $120 to study for the Hesi. I paid that $120 to register for the Hesi exam, and I paid like $30 for the book. And so I spent approximately like $150 for the Hesi exam. I took the Hesis, I passed the Hesis, and I didn't get into the school. And so honestly, looking back at everything, I probably just wouldn't have taken it at all, because now it's just like I took the exam and it's just sitting there, and no other school is really asking for it, or rather, let's just say no other school that I'm applying to or that I was applying to needed it. So I literally just took that entrance exam for that one school, and that one school did not accept me. And it's like, shit, but it's like, listen, you live and you learn. So it's whatever. You live and you learn. I'm still kind of tight about it, because that was $150 that I really could have put towards something else. Or just in general, I would definitely say that having a little bit of hospital experience definitely puts you, in a bit of a advantage as far as like resume goes and experience goes. It definitely gives you something to boast about when you're in the interview, or just in general, like on your app. Like, it definitely gives you something to boast about, because there's several interviews that I've been on where they asked me if I had hospital experience, and I've had healthcare experience, but I didn't have like specifically hospital experience per se. Let me just give you guys an example. For instance, like, I had an interview for a school. It was an in-person interview, group interview with me and three other aspiring nursing candidates as well. And yeah, all 3 of the girls had legit hospital experience, and I was the only person that did not have hospital experience. And just during the interview, I just felt like they definitely boasted and got to use that hospital experience to like really enhance all it is that they were displaying to the interviewee. Some schools are equal opportunity, yes. Some schools don't really care too much. They more so just care about your grades and you yourself as applicant. But there are definitely schools that, you know, you don't have no hospital experience, they kind of look at you down, you know, versus somebody that has had hospital experience or is the CNA. Like, you know, they definitely kind of might put them, you know, at a higher level than you based on like your application and stuff. So definitely, if you could somehow acquire some hospital experience somehow, I would definitely recommend to do so, because it will definitely help you out in the so yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching. I feel like that's pretty much it. If you guys have any comments, questions, or anything, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'm going to put my email in the description box as well as my Instagram, so if you guys want to reach out to me one-on-one, please don't hesitate to do so. I will respond to everybody. I feel as though my followers don't reach out to me enough, and just don't hesitate, please don't hesitate. And also, I really just want to emphasize and just like, you know, really just put out there that we need more young health professionals. And also, just being a Black woman, like, we need more representation in the healthcare field. Like, that's just what it is. So as much as this process and like being in school is very annoying and very expensive and very time consuming, it's you can't even just, yes, the monetary value is good, but I just feel as though representation in the healthcare field is just so important for the health of our people. Lack of representation in the healthcare field has caused a lot of racial discrimination in the healthcare field. That's another conversation for another day, but I just say this to say, keep on keeping on. Take that NCLEX, take that MCAT, take that entrance exam if you need to. Do whatever you need to do. Think of the end goal, and you got this, y'all. Period. I'm rooting for you. We're all rooting for you. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.
I ain't never been in love, but tryna grab it up, you got a soft spot. Hit the hole in one, I'm playing pop pop. Tryna put some sugar in your puff puff. Putting something hard inside your soft spot.